So Christy Wallace is not going to play this year. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so with the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. And join us for our new live show, Kate and Clark's crossover, every Monday, 6 to 7 during our live show, which is 6 to 8. It's Eastern time, except for major holidays. It's going to be a forum like sports reporters with 3 guests from other YouTube channels that follow Kate and Clark. So it was a big hit last Monday, and hope to see you next Monday there. All right, Rob. So Christy Wallace, as everybody knows, was someone that wasn't going to get a lot of playing time. Started in the first half of last year, and then Christy Sides came to her senses and decided that Wallace wasn't good enough to start, which everybody knew in the first place, except for Christy Sides for some reason.
Yeah.
So she, her mother-in-law apparently, her stepmom apparently died from cancer, and that's probably a reason why. Certainly part of the reason why, I'm sure. And she said she's going to sit out this year. And so her contract is suspended. But Indiana Fever still has her rights. We don't know what she's going to do, when she's going to play next. She may go to the Australian League, which starts in September, when she's had some time to recover emotionally. But we don't know why exactly the only reason or how many reasons there are for her not playing this year. We do know she wasn't getting much playing time, judge on who they picked up and how much playing time she got at the end of last year. So that changed things for the Fever. Number one, of the people that were there on the roster last year, Rob, on opening day, only 4 are left.
Well, she was actually a fan favorite, Mark. The fans liked her, and she'll be missed. So yeah, now with the new free agency, I think it is part of the reason that she would not get, even more or less playing time. So she kind of figured that out.
Back from the starting roster on opening day, there's 4 people: Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hall. Damaris Dantas was not in the opening day roster because she was injured, but she was there as a 13th person who wasn't officially on the roster, because she was injured, but she got added later. So 5 total, but 4 from the opening day. That's it. That's left. So Jayla Brown isn't officially on the roster yet. She has a camp contract, which means she has to make the team. So before this, they had $112,000 underneath the cap, but they needed 2 more people to make it 12, and 66 is the minimum. So they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough cap room because it would be $132,000. So they're like $30,000 short to put on 2 people with $112,000. So Christy Wallace's contract was $81,000. So in essence, they gained $15,000 if they're going to sign people at the minimum, because she's gone, she's off the roster. So they're actually gaining $15,000 towards that extra $30,000. So they have around $45,000, $46,000 to play with once they sign one person for the minimum, which either is going to be Jayla Brown or a rookie that they draft because they have the 19th and 20th pick. So that's why they still have a problem with getting 12 people on the roster, but they have an extra $15,000, but they're still not over the $66,000 they would need for a minimum. So that's what their situation is, right? They're still $20,000 short, essentially, right now for a 12th person. So what they could do, and which is what we talked about before, is they could add another person halfway through the season because it's prorated, and they only got to pay him for the remainder of the season instead of the whole year-long contract. So they don't have to pay someone $66,000. They could pay him $46,000. So now they could pick somebody up, like, I don't know, a third of the way through the season. It shouldn't be a problem. As long as you don't have 2 major injuries, they should be okay with 11 people, right?
Right. Yeah, it should be okay. So what you're saying is that Wallace, since her contract is suspended, that leaves them a little more room to try to sign someone.
Right. It gives them $81,000 back, but it also loses a player, which they'll probably replace with someone who gets paid $66,000. That's why her leaving gives them another $15,000 to play with.
Okay.
So that's how essentially it comes up. So that's where they're at right now. Or they could sign somebody, for more than that, for more than $66,000 and use all of it up. They could for $100,000 or something like that. But if they're looking at it a 12th player, they're probably just going to add someone at the minimum. I don't know who else. Most of the free agents are all signed. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they knew this was coming or not. They probably didn't because I don't think her stepmother died until the other day. So anyway, so that's where we're at. My biggest memory of Christy Wallace goes back to what was happening with Caitlin Clark. Let's go back to Kennedy Carter. Hip checks Caitlin Clark to the ground, gets blindsided. Aaliyah Boston just kind of walks over, helps her up, but doesn't even get in the face of Kennedy Carter. Her other three teammates didn't run down there and get in her face. No one pushed her. No one did. I don't even advocate pushing her, but I would have gotten her face and stared her down.
Mark,
especially if I was 6'4", 6'5", like Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah, and Mark, the main person is the coach. Didn't do anything. That's the main person.
Right. But this is in relation to players because of what Christy Wallace did a few games later. So after that, and a few other times that she got hit in the head and the fouls weren't called and things of that, and she was just getting assaulted. And not once did any of her teammates stick up for her. I don't indicate punching or hitting in the face or starting to fight or getting ejected, but staring him down, let him know this. We're not going to put up with this. She's my teammate. She's our star. Whatever it is, she could have done that. Well, then we have this little scuffle. And again, it was Kennedy Carter was involved, but it wasn't totally her fault. And I think it was Dana Evans was in the scuffle and someone else. There was three people. And they were like, she was with them and they were tangled up. And Christy Wallace was over to the side waiting for a three-point shot and just comes right over and stares in their face and stands in front of her and Dana Evans and the other three players and stares them down. And finally, someone did something that everybody was saying they all should have done before, which is stick up for Caitlin Clark in the very least. That's all you had to do, is at least do that. Say no, stand in front and separate them and saying, this is not going to happen. No one's going to assault my teammate. And that's all people were asking to do. And she was the first one to do it. So
Mark, in most sports, you look out for your star players. And, I know you don't like this in hockey, but in hockey, anybody mess with Gretzky, no, and they would have someone going after him. No one messes with the star player, but for them not to, help out Clark in the beginning was kind of strange, especially, like I said, the coach also.
Yeah, and a lot of people called him out, and apparently Christy Wallace heard it because she went over there and say, hey, maybe they're right. Maybe we should be, at least standing up for it. And there still wasn't much of that the rest of the year, though, Rob. No. Even though she set an example for the team, I didn't see too much of it. I did see Erica Wheeler take a little hip check in DJ Carrington after the eye poke. So I kind of like that one because it wasn't dirty, It was just a little physical. I don't like dirty plays no matter what. That's just me. So anyways, that's my fondest memory of her. And that doesn't mean she's gone. She could come back next year. Her contract is suspended and they still have rights to her. So I want to wish her luck. My condolences for the death of her stepmom and good luck, emotionally handling that. And I hope she comes back and plays basketball because I'm sure she loves playing basketball and she's still young enough to play.
Yes.
So let us know what you think down below. And what are your fondest memories of Christy Wallace? Was it when she stood up for Caitlin Clark, or maybe she made a great play? I don't know. And if you like this video, share it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? You're making Rob upset. You don't want to make Rob upset.
My face.
And hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. We want you, just like Uncle Sam, and join us for our new sports reporters type show called Caitlin Clark's Crossover. It's a forum where we invite three other Caitlin Clark YouTubers to talk about Caitlin Clark. It's pretty cool. And it's every Monday from 6 to 7 Eastern time. And 6, obviously, at night, which is 6 to 8:30. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.